Hey guys, this is our mini project. Our segment of society is Women Through the Lens of Gender Bias. We will be looking at gender bias in search engines and women on screen. Search engines such as Google and Bing use specific algorithms to determine the order in which results are displayed. Google, a popular search engine, uses a PageRank algorithm. Named after Larry Page, the algorithm indexes and assigns values to the websites, and these values are used to structure search engine results. The input to the algorithm is a graph where the nodes are web pages and the edges are hyperlinks between pages. The algorithm then recursively assigns a numerical weight to the web pages based on how often they are linked from other pages and by the weight of those pages. So, the output of the algorithm is a weighted graph from which you can obtain the list of values or rankings assigned to each page. The higher the ranking, the higher up in your search results that the page will be displayed. Although algorithms like PageRank are generally expected to produce objective results to queries, they are actually inherently biased. For example, searching CEO in Google, which is a gender-neutral term, and then going to images, predominantly returns images of men. This is because rankings, combined with information about where the searches are coming from and when, are influenced by the activity of search engine users without regard for the social context of the user's searches. Machine learning algorithms that produce these results are developed and maintained in such a way that they inherit the biases of their creators and users, as Google itself has said in the past. A Google spokesperson told HuffPost UK, "Our image search results are a reflection of content from across the web, including the frequency with which types of images appear and the way they're described online. This means that sometimes unpleasant portrayals of sensitive subject matter online can affect what image search results appear for a given query." The problem is that these gender-biased results then affect people's perceptions of gender, reinforcing traditional gender roles and misrepresentation, as shown in a study at the University of Washington. Researchers found that 7% of the study's participants' subsequent opinion about how many men and women work in a particular field. Researchers found that manipulated image search results could determine on average 7% of a study participant's subsequent opinion about how many men and women work in a particular field, compared with earlier estimates. Thus, biased search engine algorithms feed into a vicious cycle where they themselves influence and are influenced by harmful social stereotypes. To avoid biased algorithms such as this, developers could regularly run simulations on their algorithms to make sure that their results are unbiased. More importantly, developers should design their algorithms from the beginning to watch out for bias in values, either through more diverse training sets or by applying purposeful debiasing methods.
For our second case, we look at women in film and television. The Gina Davis Inclusion Quotient is a tool that automates the act of computing how much time individuals are on screen and how much of the time those individuals are speaking. In order to get this data before this tool, researchers would have to manually record the amount of time each character is on screen and how long they speak. Women have always been less represented in film and television on screen, which feeds into society's biases about women. And while this may be obvious to some, others may try to dispute this fact. By having tools that can quantify representation, it brings concrete data into discussions about inequality in the entertainment industry. Having the ability to create this data can affect how directors and producers decide which films to make, and to maybe reconsider how they portray women. Just adding female characters is not enough. Making sure they have enough screen time and enough lines promotes equality. This data has also been used to show how even though films led by women or co-led by men and women do better at the box office and make more money, women still lag behind in representation. This shows that there is obvious unconscious bias against women in the entertainment industry. The algorithm that calculates the amount of screen time women and men have takes a film as input and outputs the ratio of female face detections to the total face detections in the film. The film is analyzed by creating face tracks of each positively identifiable face and then determines whether or not it is female. Then it sums all of the female face tracks together to determine the total amount of screen time women have in a film. To calculate the amount of speaking women do on screen, first voice activity analysis is done, which determines which portion of the film contains speaking. Then, the speaking portions are segmented into smaller pieces to ensure only one speaker is speaking at a time. The algorithm used for segmentation is based on Bayes' information criterion. After that, each segment is assigned a gender using 13-dimensional Mel frequency Kepstrel coefficient, and the audio features obtained are normalized in order to account for other noise in the background and variability across different films and television shows. The total speaking time by gender is then computed by adding together the durations for each segment classified as male or female. This gives us the male and female speaking time in a movie. While the use of the Gina Davis Inclusion Quotient will hopefully be towards positive ends, it could also be used in order to design movies and media that make a lot of money but do not take into account artistic freedom and diversity. It could lead to even more homogeneity within the entertainment industry.